No woman wants you, and it's not because you're not good enough. It's because you're doing something that kills attraction before it even has a chance to grow. Most men don't realize this, but women can sense it immediately. It's not about your looks, your money, or even your charm. It's about energy. The way you carry yourself, the way you show up, the way you subconsciously tell a woman that you're waiting for her approval before you feel like a man. That's what makes a woman pull back. Not because she doesn't like you, but because she doesn't feel you. She doesn't feel your presence, your confidence, or your self-assurance. She feels a man who's trying to be liked, not a man who already knows his value. And when a woman feels that, it's game over. Attraction dies quietly, and she'll never tell you why. Let's be real. Most guys don't even see it happening. They think being nice, being attentive, being available will make her choose them. But here's the truth. When a man's entire sense of worth revolves around how a woman responds to him, she instantly loses respect. Because deep down, women don't want to be the reason a man feels confident. They want a man who's already grounded in it. And that's exactly what this video is about. Today, I'm breaking down why no woman wants you when you do this. And what that "this" really means in your behavior, your mindset, and how you show up around women. Welcome to the channel, where we don't sugarcoat dating, we decode it. I'm here to help you understand women in a way that actually works in real life, not in theory. So pay close attention, because this topic might sting a little, but if you take it seriously, it'll change how women see you forever. 1. You try too hard to be liked. One of the biggest reasons women lose interest fast is because a man is trying too hard to be liked. And most men don't even realize they're doing it. They think they're just being nice, respectful, or showing interest. But there's a difference between showing genuine interest and trying to earn approval. Women feel that difference instantly. When you try too hard to be liked, what she actually feels is pressure, the kind that makes her pull away, not lean in. Here's what that looks like in real life. You meet a woman you really like, and suddenly you start editing yourself. You agree with everything she says. You hold back your opinions so you don't come off as rude. You laugh a little too hard at her jokes, text back instantly, and keep the conversation going just so she doesn't lose interest. It feels harmless, but what you're really doing is putting her on a pedestal. You've made her comfort more important than your authenticity. And here's the truth. Women respect a man who can stand on his own energy. A man who doesn't need to be liked to feel confident. When you're too focused on being accepted, you lose the edge that makes you attractive in the first place. You stop being yourself. You start becoming what you think she wants. But here's the thing. Women can't connect with a mask. They can only connect with a man who's grounded in who he is. Women are not drawn to perfection. They're drawn to presence. A calm, self-assured presence that says, I like you, but I'll be fine if you don't like me back. That's the energy that makes her lean in. That's what creates real attraction. When you try too hard to be liked, you're giving away your power. You're handing her control of how you feel about yourself. And no woman wants to carry that responsibility. It's exhausting. She doesn't want to feel like she's in charge of your emotions. She wants to feel your strength, your certainty, your ability to stay centered no matter what happens. So here's the shift. Stop trying to be liked. Start focusing on being real. Speak your mind. Don't chase validation. Live in a way that already validates you. The moment you stop needing approval, women start feeling something different. Respect, curiosity, and attraction. 2. You make her the center of your world. One of the fastest ways to lose a woman's attraction is when you make her your entire world. It sounds romantic in theory, but in reality, it drains the spark out of a relationship. When everything you do starts revolving around her, your schedule, your emotions, your sense of purpose, she starts to feel something she'll never say out loud: boredom and pressure. Here's why. Women are naturally drawn to men who have direction, a mission, something they're building that goes beyond her. It's not about ignoring her or being cold. It's about showing her that your life has structure and meaning before she came along, and that it will continue with or without her. That's what makes a man magnetic. When she sees that your energy isn't tied to her attention, she feels free to be drawn to you. But when she feels like she's your entire source of happiness, she starts pulling away. Men often fall into this trap without realizing it. You meet a woman, things start off amazing, and before you know it, you've stopped hanging out with your friends. You cancel plans, ignore your hobbies, and stop chasing your goals. All because you want to make things work. But what you've really done is make her the center of your emotional world. You've told her, without words, that her presence defines your peace. And that's where attraction dies. Here's the truth. A woman doesn't want to be your purpose. She wants to witness it. She wants to be a part of your world, not be your world. Because when a man's world collapses the moment she steps back, she feels suffocated. She feels like she has to manage his emotions instead of simply enjoying his presence. When you make her the center, you unconsciously communicate scarcity, like you have nothing else of value happening in your life. And women don't respond to neediness. They respond to independence, drive, and self-respect. A man who has a life that excites him automatically becomes more attractive because he's not waiting around for a woman to give his life meaning. 3. You confuse kindness with weakness. A lot of good men struggle with this one. You've been told all your life that being kind, patient, and understanding makes you a good guy. And that's true. Kindness is powerful. But when it comes to attraction, there's a fine line between being kind and being weak. Most men cross that line without realizing it. You start being overly accommodating, always saying yes, avoiding conflict, and putting her feelings above your own. Not because it's right, but because you're scared to lose her. That's not kindness. That's fear dressed up as being nice. Here's the truth. Women don't lose interest because you're kind. They lose interest because your kindness comes with no backbone. When a man gives too much without boundaries, it doesn't feel generous. It feels needy. A woman can sense when you're doing nice things, hoping she'll like you more. It doesn't feel genuine. It feels like a transaction. And nothing kills attraction faster than conditional kindness. Real kindness has strength behind it. It comes from a man who can say no when he means it, who can walk away when he's not respected, who can help and care without losing himself in the process. That's the kind of man a woman trusts. Because women don't want to control a man, even if they test him. They want to feel that his kindness is a choice, not a weakness. When you confuse kindness with weakness, you start living in constant approval mode. You avoid uncomfortable conversations. You accept poor treatment just to keep the peace. You ignore what you truly want, hoping she'll eventually see your worth. But here's the harsh truth. She won't. Because you're teaching her that your feelings, needs, and standards are negotiable. And once a woman senses that, her respect for you fades. If you want to be respected, your kindness must come from strength, not fear. That means you're kind because it aligns with who you are, not because you're hoping for something in return. You can be compassionate and still demand respect. You can care deeply and still have standards. That balance is what separates the nice guy from the grounded man. So stop trying to earn love through self-sacrifice. Start leading with authentic strength. When your kindness is backed by boundaries, it commands respect. And when a woman respects you, attraction naturally follows. 4. You don't lead the interaction. When a woman says she wants a man who takes charge, she's not saying she wants to be controlled. She's saying she wants to feel your direction, your ability to guide a situation with confidence, clarity, and certainty. The moment you hesitate, overthink, or constantly ask her what to do next, she feels the energy shift. You stop feeling like the man she can follow and start feeling like another guy looking for her to lead. And that's when attraction starts to fade. Leading the interaction doesn't mean being bossy or dominating. It means you bring structure and intention. You make decisions. You plan the date instead of asking, "What do you want to do?" You initiate the conversation. You make eye contact and stay grounded in your frame. Women are drawn to that because it makes them feel secure. Not just physically, but emotionally. They can relax into the moment because they sense you're in control of yourself. When you don't lead, what she feels is uncertainty. She starts questioning your confidence. She wonders if you're second-guessing everything you do. And the moment she senses that, her feminine energy can't flow naturally. She ends up stepping into the masculine role, leading, planning, deciding, and that kills polarity. You may think you're being respectful or easygoing, but what she feels is a man who's unsure of himself. Many men confuse leadership with control, but leadership in dating is really about emotional direction. It's about showing that you know what you want and you're not afraid to express it. It's about moving the interaction forward instead of waiting for permission. Women are most attracted to men who have a sense of certainty. Not arrogance, but grounded confidence that says, "I've got this." Think about it this way. If you're constantly checking in to see if she approves of everything you do, she'll start to feel like she's dating a follower, not a leader. And women can't relax with followers. They start to mother them instead. 5. You ignore how you make her feel. Here's a truth most men overlook. Women don't fall for what you say. They fall for how they feel when they're around you. You can have all the right lines, the perfect looks, and even the best intentions, but if she doesn't feel something emotional when she's with you, nothing happens. Attraction isn't logical for women, it's emotional. It's about how your energy affects her, and too many men completely miss that part. Picture this. You're on a date, and everything seems fine. You're being polite, asking questions, keeping the conversation going. But there's no real spark. She's smiling, but something feels off. The truth is, you're in your head, trying to do it right instead of just being there. She doesn't feel your energy. She feels your nervousness, your need for things to go well, your fear of messing up. And that makes her disconnect emotionally. Women are emotional readers. They don't just listen to your words. They sense your vibe, your tone, your presence. When you're anxious, trying too hard, or hiding behind a performance, she picks it up instantly. But when you're calm, present, and grounded in yourself, she relaxes. She opens up. She starts to feel something. Safety, excitement, connection. Most men try to impress women through logic. Saying the right things, doing the right things, showing how good of a guy they are. But what they don't realize is that women remember how you made them feel, not what you said. The smallest moment, a confident smile, a playful tease, or the way you hold eye contact, can have more impact than 100 compliments. When you ignore how you make her feel, you're missing the entire game of attraction. You might think, "I'm doing everything right." But if your energy doesn't make her feel anything, it won't matter. Attraction lives in emotion, not logic. So here's what to do differently. Stop trying to be perfect. Be present. Listen not just to her words, but to her emotions. Notice her tone, her body language, her energy. Mirror her playfulness. Respond to her curiosity, and match her vibe. When you connect with her emotionally, you separate yourself from every other man who's just trying to impress her. Women remember how you made them feel long after they forget what you said. If you can master that, if you can focus less on performing and more on connecting, she won't just want to be around you. She'll crave your presence. 6. You have no mystery or challenge. If a woman feels like she has you completely figured out, attraction starts to fade. It's not because she wants to play games. It's because mystery keeps her emotionally engaged. The unknown creates curiosity, and curiosity is what fuels interest. But when a man is too predictable, too available, or too transparent too soon, the dynamic loses tension. She knows exactly what's going to happen, exactly what you'll say, and exactly how much you like her. There's no emotional pull left to explore. Men often think being an open book builds connection, but in dating, oversharing kills intrigue. You don't need to reveal your entire life story in the first week. You don't need to text her constantly or tell her everything you're doing. When you do, you remove the element of discovery, and discovery is what keeps a woman invested. Mystery doesn't mean manipulation. It means depth. It's the sense that there's more to you than what she currently sees. It's your ability to hold something back, not because you're hiding, but because you're not desperate for validation. It's how you carry yourself, with quiet confidence, not explaining every move, not seeking reassurance, not chasing her attention. Women are drawn to men who make them wonder just a little. When you're too easy to access, you lose value. Think about it. Anything that's rare or exclusive naturally holds more weight. The same applies to your attention. When you're always available, always responding, always trying to please, she subconsciously feels like she's already won you, and the chase ends. Attraction thrives on polarity, the balance of give and take, closeness and space, connection and curiosity. Women don't fall for mystery because it's confusing. They fall for it because it's stimulating. It keeps her emotionally alive in the interaction. She wants to figure you out, understand your layers, earn your attention. That process makes her invest. But when you hand her everything up front, you rob her of that journey. 7. You don't know how to walk away. Here's one of the hardest truths most men never want to face. No woman truly respects a man who can't walk away. You might think holding on, fighting harder, or proving your loyalty will make her see your worth. But in reality, it does the opposite. The moment a woman senses that you'll stay, no matter how little effort she gives, she loses respect. Because deep down, she knows she's not with a man who has standards. She's with a man who's afraid to lose her, and once fear enters your behavior, everything changes. You start tolerating things you shouldn't. You overlook disrespect. You chase harder when she pulls away. You justify her coldness and convince yourself that she's just busy. But what you're really doing is teaching her that she can treat you however she wants, and you'll still be there. That's not love. That's self-abandonment. Walking away isn't about ego or revenge. It's about self-respect. It's the ability to say, I want you, but I don't need you. That kind of energy is rare, and women feel it immediately. When a man can walk away with calm confidence, not anger, not drama, just certainty, it shocks her system. Because most men don't have that kind of discipline. Women test men constantly, not because they're cruel, but because they need to feel a man's emotional strength. If she senses that you crumble when she pulls back, she can't trust your leadership. But when she sees that you can stay centered, that you're capable of detachment when respect is lost, her attraction grows in a completely different way. You become the man she can't easily manipulate, the man who values himself above her approval. There's a quiet power in a man who's willing to walk away. It's not loud. It's not reactive. It's steady. It says, I know what I bring, and I won't settle for less. And that's exactly what reawakens attraction, because now she realizes your love is earned, not given by default. If you want to shift how women see you, master this one skill. Learn when to leave. Don't beg. Don't explain. Don't chase. When you walk away with self-control, you separate yourself from the crowd of men driven by fear. You become the one she respects, remembers, and regrets losing. So don't be afraid to walk away. Be afraid of what happens to your self-worth when you don't. Here's the truth most men don't want to hear. Women aren't rejecting you because you're not enough. They're rejecting the version of you that abandoned your own power to please them. Attraction isn't something you convince a woman to feel. It's something she feels naturally when she senses a man who values himself. And most men today have forgotten how to do that. Every behavior we talked about, trying too hard to be liked, making her your world, losing your boundaries, chasing validation, they all come from one place: fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being alone, fear of not being good enough. But that same fear is exactly what kills attraction. A woman doesn't want to save you from it. She wants to feel that you've conquered it. That's what makes her trust you, respect you, and desire you. Here's the controversial truth. When you stop caring so much about being wanted, women start wanting you. When you stop seeking their approval, they start chasing yours. Because the moment you choose self-respect over desperation, you become the kind of man women can't easily replace. So take a moment and be honest with yourself. Which of these habits have you fallen into? Which ones are quietly killing your confidence and your connection? Drop your answers in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll respond because your growth matters. Remember this. No woman truly wants a man who doesn't first want himself.